is the Hopeless Fan podcast on April 7th. Shelby and Zach know Scotty, so we'll throw out our awesome draft that I was looking forward to. It was going to be the snake draft of awkward moments. Had some good ones written down. Had some good discussions lined up.
Save it.
Yeah, we'll save it next week. But since it's been a couple weeks, we have plenty to discuss. It's opening day. It is the Masters. We missed the slap heard around the world. The Lakers missed the playoffs. A national champion was crowned in the world of college basketball. We'll also do our stand and bunk. And then Zach and I will discuss AITA and Reddit, which obviously stands for Am I the Asshole? So we'll discuss, hash it out, and see if these people are assholes or not. Where do you want to start, Zach?
Let's go ahead and start with the thing I care the least about at this point, which is the slap heard around the world.
Ooh,
okay. Just get that.
Obviously late.
Just get that out of the way.
Team Rock or Team Smith, go.
Team Rock. Are you kidding me?
No, I know.
Like most people are.
Yeah, any reasonable person.
I think the only person that is Team Will Smith is because they're trying to have their Skip Bayless moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right? They're contrarian.
Trying to be hipster.
Or, that too. Just going against their contrarian moment. Not because they actually think that Chris Rock should have been slapped in the face for making a bald joke. I mean, I'm sure there's some delusional people that are like, alopecia. Like, calm down. Okay? She doesn't have cancer. She just can't grow hair that well. Who cares?
What I found so fascinating about the moment was that, like, Will Smith at first was just, like, laughing along to it, and then looked over and saw, like, the glare of death. And then Chris Rock, I think, comes off as, like, the biggest gentleman of all, like,
right,
the most professional person of all time.
Well, I thought the funniest part there was when you could see, like, I didn't watch it live, but I saw in the replay where he's like, I could. He says that,
I could.
Yeah,
like I could fire off 30 more jokes that are worse than this.
Right. Yeah.
It's like the only reason she's bald is because your son's friend has a beer on top of her head while she's blowing him. Is Jenna in the other room? Jenna? What? Okay, she can't hear me. Okay. But
watch your sour language.
But I also saw a TikTok of, like, a round table from a couple years. It wasn't the, like, the entanglement thing, but it was something else.
From her Red Table Talk or whatever it's called?
It was a TikTok. But it was, Will Smith said that when she turned 38, he started, like, she had her 38th birthday or whatever, it was normal. And then the day after, he started, like, planning for her 40th. So, like, 2 years in advance. Like, having a documentary crew, like, have a documentary ready for her 40th birthday, a documentary about her life, and the party was going to have Mary J. Blige. Is it Blige or Blige?
Blige.
Blige, okay. Going to have Mary J. Blige perform at it, and then when Jada found out about it, she said that it was the biggest display of Will's ego ever. And so, and Will Smith was like, on this discussion, Will Smith was like, she told me it was the biggest display of my ego ever. And you know what? She was right. So I'm like, oh my God, dude.
This poor bastard.
Hitches really went downhill. There's like so many movies Will Smith's been in that, like, people say are good that I just haven't. I have never seen. I am Legend.
Really?
Yeah.
Sad.
But like when everyone was talking about it the day after the slap, they're like, and I loved him in I Am Legend. I've seen Concussion. Yeah. But what's another one? Another big one he's in?
Ali. That's what he got nominated for an Oscar for.
I thought it was for doing Serena Williams' parents.
Well, no. I'm saying Ali was the only other time he's been nominated for an Oscar.
Okay. Like I Am Legend. I've seen the
Focus with Margot Robbie.
I actually like that movie. But everyone was just like,
for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Well, funny story about that is we were leaving OU. This was 2014 or 15. We were leaving OU for Panama. And the people who had like the keys to the condo we were staying at, like had to be there for us to check into the condo. We're leaving from Canton, and we were leaving from Cincinnati. It was me, or we were leaving from Athens, so we had a head start. And it was me, Scotty, and his girlfriend at the time. And so I was like,
not Jess.
No. So it was so freaking funny. We were driving south or whatever. We were gonna drive south, and I was like, well, we have time to kill. And I was like, well, I have like $50 of AMC gift cards that I haven't spent yet. And I'm like, okay, let's go to Northern Kentucky to AMC. And I was like, I want to see Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
Oh my God.
And they were like, no, let's see Focus. And I'm like, they're my gift cards, bitch. And we ended up seeing Focus.
Oh, well, that's good. Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is terrible.
Well, I acted pissed, but I was like, God, I liked Focus a lot. I didn't let them know that I actually loved that movie.
It's definitely a better movie than Hot Tub Time Machine 2, but...
Yeah. But basically, everyone was saying, man, Will Smith slapped him. I really loved him in I Am Legend. And I'm just like, I really liked him in Hitch. That's my movie thing. All right, slap heard around the world. Chris Rock, I think, could make a Billy if he, had a Netflix special, next month. Or, something to, if I was Chris Rock, I'd, definitely capitalize.
Well, he just released an updated version of his last special with, extended... an extended cut of his last special that just came out. And it was it had to have been planned before all of this happened, because it was 2 days after. It was I saw it was on Netflix, and I was like, oh shit.
But it'd be funny if he came out with a neck brace on.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Something.
This was stuff that was shot way before this happened. So it's I want to see something come out right, because he's touring right now. So I would imagine he's going to shoot a special soon.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The Masters. Tradition unlike any other. But you got a bet in it.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. $10 flyer on Tiger to win.
Oh my God.
$400 plus $4,000.
That's the
but
thing.
Imagine the story.
I know, that's the problem.
He already had his comeback win.
Yeah, it was 2018 or 19 or whatever. And Scotty might have a good bet because Tiger had a great day today in the first round of it.
I think the fatigue is what's going to get him.
Exactly. That's Scotty only has him to make the cut. So
what were the odds?
He had minus 115. He had minus 115, and it was right around, I think, even money other places.
What do you have to do to make the cut?
It's top 50 out of 91 or 98.
By which day?
Saturday. The Thursday and Friday, you go to make the cut.
Oh,
and then
gotcha.
Saturday and Sunday are the finals.
Gotcha.
But it was just everyone's betting Tiger, and I think it's just because it's the only person they know.
Yeah, there's no. Is Bubba Watson playing? Is Rory McIlroy playing? Is Jordan Spieth? I imagine Jordan Spieth probably playing.
Yeah.
Who's the other one that did the video game for a short while?
Bubba Watson?
No,
because he's awful now.
Right. Who's the other one who did the? There's Rory McIlroy, and there was one other who did the Tiger Woods video game after he got.
I don't know. Did you play that as a kid? Because everyone says it was awesome.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
The only golf game I ever played is Wii Sports Golf.
Could you ever get into golf? Have you ever had the inkling to
No, I've played 9 holes and it was terrible.
It is awful.
Yeah.
And I just Top Golf's next for me.
My grandparents, where they live in Florida, there's a golf course. I think the 4th hole is right behind their house on the other side of the pond, and there's people who are out there golfing in the thunderstorms.
People are insane. Yeah.
Jinx.
Every now and then I'll get the inkling. I'll be like, man, it'd be nice just it's a sunny day, shoot 18 holes if I knew what I was doing. But then when I go to Top Golf and I have a driver in my hand and I shank one, I get so unbelievably pissed. So if that ball, if I was on an actual course and that ball went in the water, I'd be Brad Pitt in fury. We're staying.
Everybody in fury. We're just so furious right now.
The problem with the Tiger thing though is there's other ways to get at it, because so for instance his partner's name is Webb Simpson.
Okay.
And you can bet he has another partner, but I'm blanking on his name. But you can bet that Tiger will beat Webb Simpson.
Oh yeah.
At plus 150.
Huh.
So he's the underdog to beat Webb Simpson. But Tiger is 44-1 to win the Masters, and Webb Simpson is 100-1 to win the Masters. That'd be like the Ravens hosting the Jets and being a 3-point underdog. And the Ravens have half better odds to win the Super Bowl. That's just, I don't know. It's just weird. But, like you said, to make the cut, to make top 10, to make 20, like you said, I think fatigue might be the problem.
Yeah. That's just what I'm hearing from my sources.
All right. Well, you are the source when it comes to college, our college basketball expert. Why did Kansas win the title? Go.
I think because they started peaking at the right time.
Mm-hmm. The Villanova game they didn't miss.
Right.
Like I don't think they missed a shot.
Well, Kansas was in the first couple rounds. I mean, you didn't hear anything about them. They're like, oh, here comes Kansas. They're like at the beginning. It was like they're gonna have around a 32 or Sweet 16 exit, like they always do.
Always do.
Or worse, back when I don't remember what year that was. Northern Iowa.
That was the worst game of my life.
Yeah.
Quick sidebar.
Yeah.
So my dad comes home from work and says like, "Hey, everyone's putting $20 in a pool for the bracket, and I'll let you fill it out." I'm like, "Here we go." I was like, "Kansas all the way to win it all." And then Northern Iowa happens, and so like I'll never forget the name Ali Farupanesh.
Yeah,
like they're up like 2 with like 30 seconds left, and he shoots the ball while Kansas is trying to foul, and just ice cold alligator blood in his veins, just nails a 3. Everyone's going nuts. It's like that's like regarded as like an all-time moment upset, but Ali Farupanesh will forever be just the absolute devil to me.
Yeah, I had a similar moment. But not like it didn't ruin my bracket or anything. But it was the that guy for you remember Middle Tennessee State that upset. They had that
Michigan State
that redheaded black guy.
Weird. He looked weird.
He's still in the G League. So every now and again I see like he's on the same team as Jalen Crutcher right now. So every time I see Jalen Crutcher highlights, I can see that little redhead guy running around out there, like just harkening back to
like
that moment,
like sculpture face almost.
Yeah, like the hot Squidward.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's not. He's like freckled, right?
Right. Yeah, freckles and
buzz cut.
Yeah, it's like if you have an African American ginger, that's what it looks like.
Also, Kansas, I think like their seeding that they played, like it matched up pretty well. So like if you're a 1 seed, you play. Mm-hmm. Like the lowest you can go is you beat a 16 and then an 8. So 24 and then a 4 and then a 2 and then another 1. That would be the toughest road.
Right.
So like your seedings that you play add up to like 28 or something. Mm-hmm. Theirs were like way higher than that, and it was like the 3rd easiest road of anyone to make it in. Plus they get Villanova with Moore out, and then they play North Carolina.
An 8.
Yeah, they played North Carolina in 8 in the national championship, so it matched up pretty well. Like Iowa lost in their bracket in the first round, and then they got a 10 or a 7 in Miami in the Elite 8 or the final in the Elite 8. I think. So good for Kansas. Good for Bill Self. He gets 2. Were you happy? I know you had a future on Duke winning it all. Were you more disappointed in the future, or were you happy?
I had hedged out of it with the game against North Carolina.
Yeah.
So I was happy I didn't have to hedge again.
Right.
And then I just got the hedge. I actually ended up getting more than what I put on the line for the future, so it's not the end of the world because I took the spread and the money line for North Carolina in that Duke game. So, obviously $100 would have been dope. And it's always cool to like
10 to 1.
I picked the winner of the national championship
1 out of
before.
64,
yeah, that's cool. The bracket pool at the school that I'm at.
Bracket pool at the school.
Yeah, I was like in the Final Four. I was like, if Duke wins and they go and they play, even if Kansas goes to the other guy, it was between me and the other guy, and he had Kansas winning it all.
Okay.
So he won because.
Was they win at the school like a free chocolate milk?
No, we all put $5 in.
Oh. How much was the pot?
It was like. There was 20 teachers, so it was 20
$100
times $500, yeah.
Oh. See, that's like they'll do that and then be like frowning upon gambling. Like, that's gambling. You're 20 to 1 long shit.
Yeah.
Were you always like a Duke, like you can't stand Duke?
Never liked him.
Okay. Because I never got that. I was like, it was like growing up, I knew everyone hated him, but I didn't really have a reason to. But I know you kind of like Kentucky, so maybe that's why.
It's because Mamaw hated him.
Mamaw hated him
because she watched the Leitner game live. She watched it happen live. I had to sit there while it happened to me.
Was she on the Titanic too? Okay. Kansas winning the national title. Opening day. We're 1-0, Zach. 1-0 betting baseball so far. We might retire.
Yeah, I only got one future this time. I didn't tell all your other futures this year.
Like a million.
Yeah. Reds under, was it 73.5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be over. We should have just bet ourselves. We could have got even money.
Yeah. Could have.
Yeah. But opening day, Reds play tonight, 8 o'clock against the Braves. Can't wait for them to get shut out. Okay. Stand and bunk. You got a stand?
I do. And my stand is... oh, shoot. I just forgot. Come back to me. I'm so sorry. I wrote it down.
My stand is you, because you got me MLB The Show.
Haven't
got a chance to play it yet.
Did you at least download it?
No.
I told you.
I know. Zach, you gotta...
Hey, Mr. Sir, get down. Thank you.
Mr. Sir.
I got it. Sorry, go ahead.
That's going to be the problem. I keep coming back to that every time I'm like... Because I haven't had a chance to play it. I was working crazy the last 2 nights.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably play it tonight. And then I'm like, oh, shit. Every time I think about like putting it in, I'm like, oh, Zach told me it's going to download. And I remember it takes like a fucking
Just do it before you go to sleep.
Yeah, it's true. But I want to play it tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you should start before you came over here.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't been home yet.
Oh, okay.
All right, what's your take?
Yeah, so mine is they shut down Julius Randle, so getting to watch Obi get like 30 minutes a night has been...
You sure that he's going to get 30, or are they going to find another way to bench
He's
him?
been getting... They shut him down like a week ago.
Oh, okay.
So I've been able to watch a couple games where Obi's been getting real minutes. And it was funny because the first 2 games that Randle was out, the first game he scored 20 points, a career high, and then the very next game he scored 20 points again. So I think it's clear that while he's not the solution to the Knicks' problem, he's definitely it's true that he definitely should have been getting more minutes.
Has there ever been anything like why he hasn't played?
Because
it's Thibodeau, right?
Because Thibodeau likes to play his starters for 40 minutes.
Okay.
He's always been like that. I mean, everybody always blames Thibodeau for being the reason that Derrick Rose's career went off the rails is because he never got rest, and it destroyed his knees.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's been fun to watch him get more time.
All right. Do you have a bunk?
Yeah. My bunk is that for me is that baseball season has started again.
Oh, come on.
And not that baseball season is, baseball's like a horrible sport or anything like that. It's just like, it's that sign where it's like, college basketball's over.
Yeah.
NBA's going to be over soon. The playoffs are going to start, so that's nice, but...
And the playoffs last forever.
They do. They last all the way to June.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But that just means there's going to be less and less NBA games that are on.
Yeah. So
less opportunities to bet, less... distractions. And I'm about to go into summertime. I'm going to have summers free every year, and it's all that's going on during summer is baseball games.
Mm-hmm. I do feel bad for people who don't like baseball as much as I do.
I would love to love baseball.
Yeah.
Obviously, everybody would love to care about something and enjoy it.
It's kind of how I felt about college basketball. I'm just like, I'm like a tournament-only person.
Yeah.
But I do love it. But... yeah, there's some. That's kind of why I took so many over-unders. Well, one, I liked them, but taking all those over-unders gives me something to look at every night at least, if someone's playing or not. Okay, my bunk. First off, the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl's still a bunk. Broken man.
It's not in your media blackout, though.
That's true. Thank God baseball started. And then what messaged you about today was my free magazines. So a couple years ago, I think it was right after I started living with you.
Yeah.
Is I went to a bookstore. I think it was at the Green, and I bought a bunch of books and put them on a bookshelf at the office. And when I signed up, they said like, "Here, check off. You get 3 free magazines." And I was like, "Awesome." And so I picked Time, I picked Rolling Stones, and I picked Sports Illustrated. And then I was like, cool, I got a few of them when I lived here. And then I stopped living here. They still came here. And I just thought they were just sending them whatever. And then I finally caught it on my bank statement that, like, in March, I think Time charged me, like, $37.95. And then Rolling Stone charged me, like, $32.81.
Oh, God.
So it was like $80 or $70-something bucks just down the drain. Magazines I didn't know I was still getting half the time, like spam. And then, of course, like the canceling process was just awful.
Yeah.
Because, like, They were like, well, to cancel, what's your account number? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know I had an account. So like finally I looked up something that was like, oh, it's on the, the address stamp, like when we send you the magazine. So I had to have you send me pictures of them. So that was just a brutal process. I'm not even done yet. I might just give up and have them charge me. All right. Ready for Am I the Asshole?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Am I the asshole? These are all from Reddit.
Okay.
And if you want to pull up Reddit, just get a couple more.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I was taking the this morning. I took the Celtics plus 6.5 against the Bucks.
How they doing?
It hasn't started yet, but it has moved to 8.5. So I'm pretty upset about that.
You gonna reverse middle yourself?
I sprinkled a money line for Boston.
Are you just hedging against the Bucks?
No, I really do think that the Celtics are a scary matchup for the Bucks. I think their speed. The Bucks don't have a lot of speed. The Celtics are a fast team, so.
They were hot as of recently. The Celtics were, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Let's get pulling Reddit up. Go ahead.
Okay. Here we go. We'll start. A couple of them are long, but here we go. Am I the asshole for not telling people I'm the celebrity they think I am? Here we go. I look very similar to an actor, and I live in New York City. Every so often, a tourist would stop me and say, "Oh my gosh, you're that guy." And I used to interrupt them and say, "No, I'm really not." But then this guy started starring in a TV show, so I became way more recognizable. It started so I was being stopped 3 to 5 times a day by people. Once I was in a mad rush and on the phone, so when someone said, "You're that guy, can I take a selfie?" I just smiled for the selfie and said, "Have a great day." It was faster than explaining and insisting I'm not the guy while they accused me of being too big for the fans. It was kind of funny to think of a picture of me floating around as a celebrity, and it was kind of nice to see how happy they looked when they thought they'd met this guy, even for 10 seconds. So now when people stop me, I just take pictures, shake their hand, and move on. I thought it was just funny and never really thought much beyond that. But I was on a date the other night, and the girl said, "Hey, has anyone ever told you look like the guy from that show?" And I told her this story, and she was horrified.
Really?
She said it was so mean to mislead people that way. They hadn't occurred to me, and I really don't want to be a dick to people. I thought it was something they'd eventually look back on and laugh too. Didn't occur to me it would be so upsetting. So is she being oversensitive, or am I being an asshole to tourists?
Real quick before we get in this, I just want to say I love the banner for the subreddit, which is the Reddit alien holding up 2 signs, and one sign is a green check mark, and then the other sign is a brown sign with an asterisk in the middle, almost like it's a puckered butthole. So that's pretty funny. I would say no, because I think it's hilarious. You just think about
funny.
Just think about the people because there are people out there who don't necessarily have face blindness, but they're terrible at recognizing faces. So if you look,
let's just throw out an actor and say it was this guy, so we don't have to keep saying let's say it was
Danny Bonaducci.
That's fine. Okay. That's who this guy looks like.
Okay, so this guy's a ginger fuck. So where was I? Oh yeah. So just imagine you get to think about all the times that they go and show their friends and family, "Look, I got a picture with Danny Bonaducci."
Right.
And the person who doesn't have face blindness that they're showing it to is like, "That's not Danny Bonaducci."
That's hilarious.
Just thinking about, you get to, every time as you're taking the picture with them, you're like, "Hey, take care, man. It's just, thanks. I appreciate the support," or whatever. Yeah, it's like, I've been having some tough times, so it's nice to hear from fans and stuff. You can fuck with them like that, little ways. It's not hurting anybody.
Yeah, it's not hurting anyone. That's the problem. And he was in a rush, so I don't get. What would have been funnier is if this girl he was dating said, "Hey, has anyone ever told you look like Danny Bonaducci?" And he was just like, "I am Danny Bonaducci." He was just fully immersed in it. All right, I think so the asshole in this one is clearly a no. He is not the asshole.
Okay.
All right, so we're one down. Here comes another one. It's a little bit shorter. Am I the asshole for... This is my problem, was that all of them were fucking essays, they were doing a word count for a high school class. I'm like, Jesus. Am I the asshole for making my boyfriend feel uncomfortable after he insisted on joining us on girls' night in? Ooh. Jenna, come here.
Ugh, this ought to be good.
All right, we're having Zach's wife join in on this. So
Start over.
You know what Am I the Asshole is?
Yeah.
Okay, so the question, we're going to decide if this guy's an asshole. Am I the asshole for... Am I the asshole for making my boyfriend feel uncomfortable after he insisted on joining us for girls' night in? Here's the story. My boyfriend, male, 27, just like me, started asking to join me in my girls' night in. Every time I tried to say no, he would be like, I have to join you or you'll have to cancel. It made me and my girls miserable having to sit there with him in the middle. This past Friday, he insisted to join us again. I had enough. I came up with an idea to get him to hate hanging out with us, made a plan, and told the girls what we were going to do, and they were down for it. The girls came, and my boyfriend immediately sat with us and started ruining our conversations by steering them towards him, his work, his achievements. So here's what I did. I started bringing up gross, embarrassing subjects, and the girls were eating them up by talking about them in details. Subjects like sex, periods, cramp diarrhea, hairy legs, fart getting trapped in the vulva, and coming out the front, squeezing shit out of our faces, dirty underwear, and again, cramp diarrhea. We talked about the stuff in boring details. I could feel his discomfort even looking at him, but God, when I turned to see why he got quiet suddenly, he was getting red in the face and had sweat all over his forehead. I bet he found himself unable to relate to these subjects, thus he couldn't take part in the conversation. Am I the asshole?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Naturally. All right, give me that microphone.
No, that
this
guy
bitch is
this guy shouldn't have. There's a little bit more. I was just trying to cut it out. He got up from the couch ready to head out. I looked at him and asked where he was going, and he was just like, I just remembered that I have an important meeting with a guy in about 10 minutes. He rushed out telling us to have fun. The girls and I started laughing hysterically. He came home and berated me, saying I made him feel uncomfortable, sick, with the horrible subject I kept bringing up. I said, what are you talking about? This is typical stuff girls talk about all the time. But he insisted I made him upset and caused him to leave. Then he punched me in the face. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think this guy's an asshole. He declined to speak to me and has been quiet since then. Zach.
I just fed them, so no. I think she's perfectly... I mean, what kind of a fucking loser? It's like, I want to be there for girls' night.
I'd rather...
If Jenna was like...
I'd rather set my balls on fire.
Yeah, I wish she had more girls' nights.
It's like how you talk about game night behind Jenna's back.
Yeah. I really hate some of her friends.
All right.
She hates them too.
They don't listen to this.
They only listen to podcasts about how bread is made.
Oh, God. All right.
I've
got one?
I found a good one.
Go
I think.
for it.
Let me know.
I can't figure out Reddit.
Strike it down if you don't like it.
You said subreddit, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Strike it down if you don't think it's a good one.
Go for it. Is it long? I'm trying to find ones that are short.
I can condense it. It's really not that long.
Okay.
So, am I the asshole for pretending to get fired when customers get a temper with me?
Oh, that's hilarious. I'm going to say no from the jump.
Right.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
I'm a high schooler with a weekend job at a coffee shop. Blah 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 blah. Okay. James, the owner's son. He goes to my school. He's a shift manager, but he's not a real. It's not a real formal thing. He's a friendly guy. Danielle is a college student who sometimes works weekends too. So sometimes customers will come in, just be angry at little stuff, literally blow up about nothing. I don't know if they're in a bad mood. Blah blah blah. Like how sad. So you have to be a grown ass man taking your anger out on a high school and college kids. Yeah. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So James, the shift manager, and I were joking about having a little fun with them.
1 second.
It's the ice cream truck.
That's why.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
I don't want it. So James, the shift manager, and I were joking about having a little fun with him and hopefully getting them off our backs. So one day I was at work and some guy was having a temper about how we don't make coffee hot enough, which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine. Apparently he wants his McDonald's coffee that will burn your tongue if you even get a little too close. So James came in and was like, "Sir, is there a problem here?" And the guy started ranting at him too. So he was just like, OP, that means original poster, the teller of the story. This is unacceptable. You're fired. I started acting real sad, like, no, please don't fire me. My family needs the money. I need this job, please. And he played up being a hard ass, telling me to take off my apron and leave. The angry guy started to backtrack, like, it isn't that big of a problem. You don't need to fire. You don't need to fire her over it. I didn't mean it. And James was like, no, we pride ourselves on the best customer service. Of course, after all that drama, I still had my job. We were just acting, and we've done it a couple times. Whenever a customer will lose their temper at Danielle or I, James will storm in, fire us, and almost every time the person who had come in angry will apologize and say they didn't mean it. It's kind of satisfying making people realize our actions might actually have consequences.
Okay, I think these are just starting to be like, look how funny I am. Because the last two are like, good.
Right. Well, and a lot of this stuff is there's another fantastic subreddit that I like to reference every now and again, and that's that actually happened, which is where people are telling stories on the internet that are totally untrue, but to make them seem either smart, funny, original, badass. Like I Am Very Badass is another good one.
Well, there's one that's like a guy is like, oh, I made this joke to this lady at a bar. The entire crowd stood up. The entire bar stood up and started clapping, and I drank for free the rest of the night.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up.
Or that one where like, my daughter came in and asked me, like, why can't Russia and Ukraine get along? She's 3.
Yeah.
The thing I love about Reddit is you can go in and, like, you can find the most upvoted, like, the top of all time. So you can find the best stories that each subreddit has to offer.
This might be your assignment, like, for the week.
Okay.
I was trying to find some relationship advice. Like, so we would give, me... What I hate is that people are awful at grammar and punctuation and everything.
Yeah. This one's really good. I apologize.
Go ahead.
Am I the asshole for telling my extended family how many men my sister slept with after she outed our youngest brother as a virgin?
I think I saw this, but go ahead.
This one might be long. No, it's not that long. So it said we had a family dinner. Family has 4 kids in total. Me, older sister, and youngest brother. Being 29, 24, and 22. And she doesn't say how old she is.
To be 22 again.
Right. Extended family attended our family dinner, so all our significant others, our cousins, aunts, etc. During the dinner, my eldest sister and youngest brother got into a mild disagreement. My sister seemed to be coming across as very aggressive out of frustration because she was losing the argument. The two of them were too absorbed in the argument to realize the rest of us were getting a bit fed up. Eventually, my sister got really fed up, said, "Shut up, I'm not going to argue with a 22-year-old virgin." My brother hadn't done any personal attacks up to this point. It was completely unprovoked. I think it might have been the alcohol. My sister is a mean drunk. Been there. Anyway, I immediately told my sister to grow up and that she's making an embarrassment of herself. She replied by saying everyone knows he's a virgin, and she didn't say anything wrong. This annoyed me, and my bro definitely has confidence issues and doesn't need to make fun of this. Okay, so I responded by saying how she slept with well over 100 men while she was in college.
Bullshit.
And that since everyone in the family knows that it's not a big deal, right? Turns out her husband didn't know. Amazingly, I genuinely assumed he must have known. He left the party angrily saying my sister misled him about her past. Ooh. Family is blaming me for their marital problems. I refuse to accept I did anything wrong. My sister bullied my brother in front of everyone. All I did was give her a taste of her own medicine.
This is a little bit tough.
I know. Well, this is cool because they also have a classification system for stories. After, like, they have their moderators, their mods.
Yeah.
Go through each story, go through the comments, and see how everyone kind of feels about it. And they give them little banners. So there's either asshole, like, yep, you are the asshole. There's a classification of not the a-hole. Everyone sucks, which that one was an everyone sucks. So it means like you're kind of both in the wrong.
Yeah.
And then there's another one where it's like no a-holes here, like nobody's being an asshole here. There's one where like you're the asshole, the other person's the asshole, both of you are assholes, or no, neither of you an asshole.
Was a both.
This was everyone sucks.
That's kind of a cop out. I think it's this exercise is tough because you have to pick yes or no.
Right.
And it is. I would have to lean kind of yes, but
I don't think for her calling your brother a virgin, that's like
in front of everyone.
But it's in front of your family, right? I would love to be called I wouldn't mind if I wasn't married. I wouldn't mind being called a virgin in front of my family because then they don't think I'm out sticking it in every dirty slit that comes my way. You know what I mean?
Maybe he should just get laid,
right?
Maybe this guy is just a fucking nerd.
That's true, but I don't think I would be upset if somebody called me a virgin in front of my close family because then they think that I'm a goody two shoes.
If I was that guy, I'd be like, well, I'm religious. I'm like saving it.
Yeah.
But like adding in there's so many added things. It's like, oh, like you could out your sister for being a slut in front of like your family, but like the added bonus of her husband's there and now they have problems. The added bonus of the virgin brother has confidence issues. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's just adding on to the fact. It's like piling on. I'm gonna go ahead the yes or no and say he is the asshole. She.
Yeah, I think she took it
but I think
to fuck with.
We're discussing if he's the asshole for outing the sister.
Well, no, there's only one boy. It's the sister outed her other sister of what she said to her little brother.
I thought the two brothers in a group. Okay.
No, you're good.
All right.
There's also stuff like there's would I be the asshole stuff like where they think like I'm thinking about doing this. So there's other stuff like that too.
Okay.
But yeah, sorry. Go ahead with what you were.
Relationship advice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Me, 29-year-old male, girlfriend, 28-year-old female, started using an adult pacifier and generally regressing plus becoming more childlike. Help? Question mark. All right, we'll dive into this. My girlfriend has started acting like a small child. I'm not sure why, but I know she dealt with some abuse as a kid, so maybe that contributed? Question mark. I don't know, though, because she wasn't like this when we first got together. It started out with her asking me to read her stories at night. I thought, okay, this is kind of cute. She's an insomniac, so I thought this might help her with that. Then she bought an adult pacifier on Amazon. I'm not going to lie, this freaked me out a little.
I thought an adult pacifier was just another name for a butt plug, but no, it's literally a pacifier made for an adult. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
She said she bought it to lose weight. Fucking eating while you sleep? I don't know. Basically to help with the oral fixation part of overeating.
Okay.
I asked why she couldn't just chew gum or something, but she didn't really have an answer. There have been other things too. We share a Netflix account. I looked at our history just out of curiosity. She's been watching a ton of kids shows and movies. Not even like SpongeBob or shows that can also appeal to teens and adults. I'm talking shows geared towards preschoolers. I didn't mention this because I didn't want to embarrass her. But I'll post this on Reddit. There have been other things too.
She watched like Coco Melon or something?
Yeah. Big Wiggles girl. There have been other things too, like buying slime and other stuff on Amazon.
Oh my god.
She says it helps with her stress, but the one she gets seems like something my 5-year-old niece would ask for. Bright pinks and purples with rainbow beads. It's also carried over to her diet. She's become really obsessed with strawberry milk lately.
I mean, who hasn't, honestly?
And whereas we normally eat a lot and get stuff like sushi or Italian or Mexican, lately all she wants is to go out to stuff like chicken fingers and mac and cheese.
I know somebody like that.
So this isn't like a yes or no thing. This is like giving them relationship advice.
Right. It sounds like
I think he should spank her.
It sounds like she might have had something traumatic happen to her at the age of 5, and that forced her to mentally grow up quicker than she needed to. And so now she's starting to have manifestations of she's starting to have to deal with this traumatic experience in her life, and instead of confronting the problem, she's just regressing to the age that which she was molested or whatever happened to her.
Zach Freud.
It's not very
Zach
funny,
Sigmund
but
Freud. I know. It's like, well, what should this guy do?
You guys ever want to have sex with your mother? Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Well, this guy's having sex with a 5-year-old apparently. But
guilty.
That's just explaining like why. But we're trying to give this guy advice. Like, what should he do?
Yeah. I knew this was gonna happen. I should have said it earlier.
I did too.
We're almost done. So
yeah.
Sorry, buddy. Just for the listeners, Scotty just messaged us like, "Can I come record for like 10 minutes?" Like, we're almost done.
Did you say we're almost done?
I didn't know. But could you imagine if I did?
Am I the asshole?
Would I be the asshole? I would say that. I mean, I want to give like funny advice, like yours. Like, you should spank her.
I think if she's acting like a 5-year-old, he should act like a 3-year-old.
Yeah, start putting on diapers. Start putting on diapers and taking shits and stuff.
He can't even talk. He's just like barely able to bounce a basketball.
Like, change my dye, bitch.
Yeah, he like gets a car seat.
Yeah. I think that, but the honest relationship advice would be she needs to go see a therapist.
Okay, here's our next one. Relationship. My 24-year-old girlfriend, my boyfriend, 25 years old, sleeps in a nest of clothes and towels and refuses to buy a bed. Did you hear that?
Sorry, I'm messaging Scotty back.
It's okay. She's a 24-year-old female. Her 25-year-old boyfriend sleeps in a nest of clothes and towels and refuses to buy a bed. I've been dating my boyfriend for 3 years, and I only just finally visited his apartment this week. I was amazed to see in his bedroom there is no bed. Everything else is totally great. This is what I love about these things, because it's always like. Me and my boyfriend, we're so perfect for each other, but every now and then he just shits in the middle of the kitchen. Instead, I was amazed to see there's no bedroom. In his bedroom, there is no bed. Instead, there's a huge pile of clothes and towels in the middle of the room. My boyfriend said it is his nest, and he sleeps in it. I cannot believe this. He showed me how he does it, and he kind of curls up into a ball in the middle and piles some clothes and towels on top of him. That's how he sleeps. He told me he had never had a guest in his nest before, but I was welcome to try, or I could sleep on the sofa. It turns out the reason he had not invited me to this apartment is because he was embarrassed about his nest. I thought it was very odd to have a nest, but I tried to sleep in it with him. I found it very uncomfortable and weird, and I also noticed it smelled. I went to sleep on the sofa. In the morning, my boyfriend confronted me and said, "Why do you hate my nest?" I said I thought it was weird, uncomfortable, and smelly. I asked, does he wash those clothes? He said he doesn't because he doesn't wear them. They're just his nesting materials. I said he should still wash them. He said if we were going to take the next step and move in together, I would need to accept his nest. I said if we move in together, we're getting a bed. He said he would rather never go to sleep if he couldn't use a nest. I said, fine, maybe we'll get a 2-bedroom. He took offense to this. I told him his nest was stupid as a mud crab, which I admit was childish. We are currently not speaking. I want to resolve this, though. I have a deep hatred of his nest, but he has a deep love for it. Is a 2-bedroom a viable solution? What can I do? First of all, 3 years you haven't seen this apartment.
Yeah.
Why? Like, how did she...
Let's for all of these, we should just assume that they're true.
Oh, yeah,
just
that's the problem.
Just for the case of
I would call bullshit on this fast.
Right. This is... Jenna, I know Jenna's in there thinking, like, this is how Zach would live if I never saved him. So I know she's thinking, like, he would be definitely in a nest. He'd never wash anything. I know that's what she's thinking in there. And she's not that far off. I definitely would have a bed, but it wouldn't have a baseboard. Or a box spring.
Some replies, that's not a boyfriend, that's a rat. I'm sorry, your boyfriend is actually a grizzly bear in disguise. But yeah, I'm trying not to just call bullshit on this, but
right.
His nesting materials, this guy's a slob.
Yeah.
Your boyfriend.
This is how I imagine. This is how I imagine that Heinz Ward goes home and sleeps in one of these. He's God. Goes and like curls up that little rat-faced piece of shit. Sorry. I have. Do you have any? You want to talk any more about that one?
No, not really. I don't really have anything to say because I think it's fake.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
This one's funny. Just the title in and of itself says, "Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend that being depressed is not an excuse for being lazy?" Is this one long? Okay, so here we go. Oh, that's an update. Sorry, I got to go to the original. All right, here we go.
I have a really short one after this.
Okay. I, 29, have always supported my girlfriend, 23. We have been together for 4 years now and lived together for 1.
Creep.
She has always had anxiety as well as depression. Whereas a month I supported her through all of this and understand it's very hard for her. And yeah, you understand so well that it's very hard for her by devoting 2 sentences to it. In January, she lost her job due to current world circumstances. By March, she hit a low point with not eating as much, crying, irritability, typical traits of depression. I have comforted her as much as possible and taken care of everything. So he said that happened in March. When was this post? April. However, okay, so he gave her till June. All right. However, at the beginning of June, I was allowed back to work, and since the house has fallen to shambles, I am too tired by the time I come home to do anything, even cook. Most nights we order takeout, and on the rare occasion, she makes food. The floors aren't being washed. Hoovering isn't being done. Laundry is a mountain or a nest, depending on who you are.
I was literally going to say this girl should date the nest guy.
And dishes are everywhere. I try to keep on top of it, but with work, it is almost impossible. She's home all day. She lies in bed till late afternoon, watches Netflix, eats bowls of cereal, and naps. That's about it. I've tried to gently coax her to do more. She says she will get to it, but never does. I finally snapped, told her I was sick of her doing nothing all day and leaving housework to me. That if she is here and I am working, she needs to be pulling her weight. Woo. She got upset, said that she wants to but never can find the motivation, that she is tired all the time. I said I understood she was depressed, but it is an excuse to do nothing and be lazy. No one likes housework, but I won't take any more excuses about it. She needs to start doing it or leave. Next day I come home to a clean house and a note from her saying she was sorry and is going to stay with her mother. Oh. Her mom helped her clean before they left. I tried calling, but she wouldn't pick up. When I rang the house, her mother answered and had a lot to say. She was furious, telling me about how she's struggling and I'm making her worse, that I should be supporting her, not ignoring that she is in a bad place, and so on. I was told my girlfriend had been crying all day in her bedroom, and I feel awful. I never wanted to hurt her. I just snapped. I tried to get her mother to give my girlfriend the phone, but she wouldn't speak to me. It feels like a lose-lose situation. On one hand, I know depression results in a lack of motivation and cleanliness. On the other, I can't stand to see our home in such chaos. I've never had depression, so I can't say for sure how bad it truly is. That's why I find it more difficult to 100% empathize. Am I the asshole for telling her depression isn't an excuse? Extra info. She has a therapist and talks regularly with them. Her depression is worse since losing her job. Usually she is quite clean and tidy. We don't usually have the issue. She is looking for a job despite depression. I have enough money to support us both in the meantime.
What's the jury say on this? Because I'm kind of split. That might...
No a-holes here.
Oh.
They say neither one.
So I was kind of thinking.
Yeah. A lot of people are just like, I feel for you, boo. This is like peak. This probably came out in like June of 2020, where everybody's like...
Everyone was just killing themselves. Every month felt like 6 months.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, especially if you listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. But I don't know. Have you ever had one of those days where you just like don't want to get out of bed? Because I've never had that.
February 14th this year.
Oh yeah.
Day after the Super Bowl. I was literally just sitting on the couch in silence like that night, and Nikki was like, "It's Valentine's Day, so you." I was like, "Oh my god."
Yikes.
All right. I don't want to joke at the expense of. I think she should kind of clean up a little bit. I think there's 24 hours in a day. You can't find a little motivation to wipe the floor.
Change. If the help that I understand she's already getting help, but if the help you're getting isn't helping, then you need to get different help.
Yeah. Okay. Last one. Am I the asshole for asking my boyfriend to stop emulating Winnie the Pooh? So this conflict came up recently because I, 24-year-old female, moved in with my boyfriend, 25-year-old male. The issue is that he has started walking around the apartment and spending most of his days completely bottomless, dick out with just his shirt off. He calls it Winnie the Poohing. He told me he started it during work from home because he thought it was funny to be on Zoom and not have pants on.
I did not expect. He told me he started it at work. I was like, what?
Yeah. I'll be honest, it makes me a little uncomfortable for him to just constantly have his penis out in front of me, so I've requested he just wear boxers at least. He thinks I'm trying to be too controlling and that I should appreciate his body. Oh, God. However, it just feels kind of unsanitary and weirdly dangerous. He was cooking with oil and a drop of oil spat out of the pan and landed on his dick. So am I the asshole for not wanting to constantly look at my boyfriend's penis? It's not a flattering body part ever.
No.
So I don't think she's
for
the
some
asshole.
guys it is.
Well, 24/7?
No. He's like walking around 24/7. Yeah,
she should get a cat because that cat would jump on that penis.
Yep.
Fast. Claws out.
Are you speaking from experience?
Yes and no. Because
did you learn your lesson quick?
Well, I just noticed it with like strings on my hoodie.
Okay.
And then like while I was in the bathroom, like he has his paws like underneath the door, like scratching the other side. So I'm just like washing my hands and brush my teeth. I just let. He's
trying to hear Johnny. You.
I just let him in while I brush my teeth or something.
Sure.
And I'm just like anything that dangles off me, like he jumps on. So like, why would I? Like I never get changed. Like I'm fully dressed around him just to make because like if there's any part of clothing on me that dangles or anything, like especially like you saw it strings on your shorts.
Yeah.
Strings on your shorts. He's big on that. So imagine a cock. Imagine a big old cock.
Well,
medium-sized cock. Average. Average cock. All right, is that our show?
We don't have to read this one, but I thought this was really funny. It says, am I the asshole for teaching my 4-year-old niece to say El Chupacabra when her mom says,
I read that one.
You know what really gets my goat?
Yeah, I saw that one. I was like, I'm not reading that.
Okay. Yeah, that's our show.
All right, see you next week.
Here we go. There's a little place where the sun sleeps late. Pulls himself a shot of tequila. It's a little place called Pleasure Island. That's where I'd like to feel ya. It's easy to find just beyond the last wave, where the dolphins and whales are up mating. Sail all day and all night and then take a hard ride. That's where I'll be awaiting. Pleasure Island, island of pleasure. No need to stop and think. youthful treasure. Come on down and have a drink.